Welcome back for Season 3 of All Things Excellence, where women in leadership and business come to be challenged to learn and to grow. I'm your host, Chelsea DeBruin-Colbert, clarity coach, Enneagram guide, community builder, and your go-to girl for becoming the most excellent version of yourself. Here on All Things Excellence, we are obsessed with shining light on women who are doing the deep work and playing full out in the arena. We bring you their brilliance, their stories, and the magic they bring into the world. This season, I'm determined to step into the most powerful, profitable, peaceful, and aligned version of myself yet. So buckle up, because I'm bringing you with me. When one woman rises, we all get permission to rise as well. If you're ready to grow, rise, and step into your next level with effortless ease and love being surrounded by women who are doing the same, you're in the right place. Welcome to All Things Excellence. Hey, All Things Excellence fam. Welcome back today. Today I have my new friend Gina. How we met is so cool. I have a friend and a coach that we collaborate on retreats, and she'd recently been to a retreat where Gina was there. She came back and told me, "You got to meet this lady, and we need to plan a retreat where she lives, and she's got to come because she's super cool." I said, "What does she do?" She goes, "I don't even know how to explain it." And now after I've had a session with you, I know what she's saying. So
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you.
So, formal introduction, I can tell y'all, Gina has been serving in the wellness field for over 25 years. She is the founder of On the Cusp Coaching. As a transformational coach, retreat leader, and creator of the Fearless Feminine Freedom 10-day program, she offers one-on-one coaching, sacred ceremonies, singer-songwriter, and transformational retreats that help women release resistance, reconnect with their inner peace, deepen their connection with God, and step into the life they are called to live. You recently released the affirmational album Trust, Peace, Surrender, Freedom, a collection designed to inspire healing, faith, freedom, and personal transformation. Okay, and you have a kids album.
Yes, I do. I forgot to tell you that. It's called
Yes,
the Blue Alligator.
yes. I downloaded it the first time I met you, the first Zoom that we had together. And
Oh,
my niece and nephews love music and stories and everything. So they,
I love that.
I had to have that around for them. So first, welcome. And
Thank you.
then so many things we'll talk about today. Y'all, we're going to talk a little bit about your story, how you got here. We're also going to talk about the session that we had together yesterday
Okay.
and just where women find you and how they serve you. But first of all, how the world, you're a mom, you're a wife. How did you get to here?
Yeah. Oh
How
my
you're
gosh.
serving women in this capacity?
Oof, it's been a long journey for sure. Gosh, my journey started in 1999 when I went through my first Hatha yoga training. And I think, I was definitely going through a dark night of the soul. Um, Became a single mom young and needed something to relieve a lot of the pain, and the suffering that I was going through at the time, and stumbled into a yoga class. I was living in Chicago with my son, and I truly took that first yoga class and I said, wow, this is something that I will do for the rest of my life. And that was day one. And I think the journey just continued from there. I, studied many different modalities, meditation, breath work, um, hypnosis. I started very early on using ceremony and cacao. I would use drumming and breath work and singing and sacred dance, working with women and very early on, I worked with preteen and teen girls. And it was a self empowerment program that I developed called True Self Empowerment that I don't run anymore, but there are other women doing it. It was a 10-week module program that talked about healthy body image, how to say no, healthy assertiveness. And that ran 20 years outside of my on the cost coaching business as well. and inspired many, many girls in my community and across Illinois to just have those seeds planted early on in life for self-empowerment. And that was just a beautiful journey as well. So it kind of exploded into everything wellness and healing. And here I am today with you, talking
Yeah.
about what's next.
What was that decision to go from teenage empowerment now where you've really stepped into
Yeah, yeah,
working
yeah, yeah.
with women?
I think, just it kind of ran its course, and I had trained other leaders to run the
Mhm.
True Self Empowerment program. And it was just that it was time to let go. It was time to just say, okay, let's hand it over to some other women and let them get excited and spread this beautiful message of self empowerment to young girls and to keep that legacy going was really important to me, and that's happening today. So it feels really good to be able to let go of that, which was just a couple of years ago. And now to always have coached women, and moms, especially mothers that had daughters, that, how to raise empowered girls. And now my work has really gone into working with women that my specialty is from a very young age I was a cheerleader, and I really love women, and I love to see them shine and be who they are. And that's why I named my program True Self Empowerment, because I wanted girls to know who they are and to be who they were and not to hide or just to go out there and shine. And I think that came from being so disciplined in cheerleading for so many years
Hmm.
that I just always wanted to cheer for other people. I had always been the type of person that really cared for the underdog, right? And wanted the best and
Hmm.
highest good for everybody. I feel like there was always a line of unconditional love. And I developed on the cusp coaching. And I feel like that when women are kind of right there,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, they're right there. They're like, what's next? It's right there. I've done all the work. I've done, the yoga, the breath, all of it. But I'm like standing right there and something's kind of holding me back.
Mm.
And so that's kind of where I come in and say, okay, listen, let's talk about what's holding you back. Is it a limited belief? Is it, a thought pattern? What is it? So that's kind of what led me here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
you're on the cusp coaching.
Yeah.
You work with people in many ways as, being a retreat leader and the ceremonies, singer-songwriter. But the 10-day program, is that like a group 10-day program or is that more of like a course that
It's
you
one,
get
it's actually
self
recorded and ready
run?
to go for whoever wants to take it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a labor of love. Even though it's only 10 days, it's really, really powerful
That's a lot.
program.
That's a lot.
Hmm.
That's a lot of content,
Yeah.
right?
Only 10, it's not 10 weeks. I feel like people don't have the time. So it gives you like little
Mm.
bits and pieces
Mhm.
of practices, breath work,
Okay.
poetry.
Yeah.
It comes with my album, um, as well to be using that as a tool. So yeah, it's just,
And what
yeah.
is I guess, who would be the woman that would really want
Hmm.
that? And what is the
Yeah.
process that's bringing her through?
Yeah. I think the woman that would really benefit, I mean, I think all women would benefit from it actually,
Yeah.
but the woman who is on the cusp, truly on the cusp of what's next, but there's resistance, and we all have resistance to what it is that's holding us back. It could be, a limited belief. Like I said, it could be anything. It could be a relationship. It could be,
Mm.
to fear. I think fear and is sort of the running tape in the in the program of like, how do I get through this fear and just take that leap and take the jump. And the transformation through the program is a deep state of faith in God and letting God, taking your hands off the tiller and letting God take the wheel, where you come into the deepest state of surrender, that you're just following the pulse of where you're being led, and having trust and faith in that divine source that carries us, and we have to remember it carries us, and that we don't have to hold it. I think we, as women, we hold a lot, right? We're moms, we're business owners, we're running the house, we're cleaning, cooking, doing all the things, but we don't have to hold the next level. We can give it and surrender it to something much greater than we ever could or ever will be in our lives. And the miracles and the blessings that come from coming into a deep state of surrender. And I think that that's really where my work comes in, because I've been taken to that place, right? And so being taken to a place that hasn't been easy, and sometimes life hasn't been easy for all of us. It brings us to that deeper sense of there's something so much more than my mind and what I think versus what I'm feeling and where I'm being led. And it's just that uncrossing the wires, and coming to that place through poetry, through movement, through affirmational music that I've created, through sound and my voice that's healing to people.
Yeah. I agree. Your voice is healing. I remember the
Thank
first
you.
time we got on together. It's like a really warm blanket on a cold afternoon.
Oh,
It's so nice
thank
to just
you.
be curled up into. Um,
Yeah.
okay,
And
so
I'm all about the Hygge. Have you ever read that book?
the
It's
no.
spelled Hygee. It's it's actually a Danish. It's the way the Danish live, and it's an amazing book. I'm gonna give it a little plug.
Yeah.
But that's
Hygee.
that's what I yes,
We'll
that
put it
is,
in the
and it's
show notes.
called Hygge. And my work is cozy.
Hmm.
How can I, bring you into a place where you feel so safe and so cozy and completely and fully loved?
Yeah, your work is cozy. So yesterday we did a one-on-one session because I said I have to have a one-on-one session with you before we record this podcast episode that I already knew that I wanted to do because I want to know exactly how to be your biggest raving fan. Like I knew that I was, but I want to experience it to be able to talk about it. And I can say firsthand, I just immediately, I do think immediately meeting you, I felt that cozy, that you do that cozy work, like easy trust, like why in the world would you have walls? And I guess like immediate unconditional love and acceptance. You really bring that to everything that you do. Because now I've been with you. This is my third time that I've been with you. But where we started yesterday with the one-on-one session, it was the wildest thing that we really started with breath work that I just, you had guided breath work for me. And in that breath work, I said to my husband and to my coach, who I had a session with right after, I said, I don't even know what happened. What came up in that, I don't know, 5 minutes of breath work? I hadn't thought about that all day long, but it was fierce and strong and deep and raw. But I felt like so easy to just lean into that. And then when we got off, you had said a couple words, and you said that you were feeling like let it go. And then we kind of started talking about how I've got like one foot in one spot and one foot in another. I've got my foot where I've had it for the last 17 years in a direct sales career, and then I've got my foot in coaching. And so we started talking about just identity and the identity, I'm not going to say like identity crisis, but really walking through like what is identity for me. And so would you say on your one-on-one sessions, is that normal? Like that's kind of like what happens. Like if somebody came to you and went, I think I should have a session with you, but I don't even really know what it should be about. Do you find that that organic thing just ends up happening every time?
Yeah, every time.
Every
Yeah, I think it's just, it's a deep state of connection to God.
time. Hmm.
And I really do believe that in all of my heart and soul and the work that I've done and where I've come to, today after 25 years in this business. And it it's not me. It's truly that
Mm.
the higher self,
Yeah.
God, that I'm able to intuit exactly what it is and pinpoint where the limitation is. And for you in that moment, it was definitely, we get so stuck in these where we identifications of who we are,
Yeah.
like these strong identifications. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm
Mhm.
a business owner, I'm this, that, the other thing. I like the color blue. And
Mhm.
I really do believe that, being human and our limitations when it comes to identity, that
Mhm.
we need to hold those identities a little bit looser because we don't have any room for the unknown and what the plan
Mm.
is for God. What is the plan for God, on our journeys? And it's many plans. It's stages of life. And we have to release those tight strongholds on who we think we are
Yeah.
and who do we think we are.
I mean, today's world, we literally hold our identity so strong, we buy hats and
Yes,
sweaters. I mean, truly, we do.
right.
We get embroidered hats and sweaters with our identity on them, and then we wear them and parade them all
Oh
around.
my gosh, so funny. So true. And
Can
and
we?
if we let go, I always think of this metaphor of like if we're holding on to the monkey bar so tight, right?
We are. We are.
Oh, and then if we just like let our hands open and we let go,
Yeah.
God has room to give us these blessings and these absolute miracles. And it took me years, years and years and years to get to that place, honestly. I mean, in its growth and its layers of growth, it's not like an overnight thing. I'm not saying it would have to take years and years for other women, but I just know in my own evolution that, we go through these dark nights of the soul and we are better for them because we're able to connect more deeply to something so great as God. And for me, it's Christ. It's been a real journey to that place. I was in the New Age world for many, 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 many years.
Yeah.
And
Because you said you studied all religions. You've
I've
studied.
studied all religions, and as a matter of fact, was a kirtan artist, which was a beautiful part of my journey. It was in the Hindu tradition, and it was call and response chanting, and it was just a way to really come into that place of inner peace, and it brought me a lot of peace. But that was an old identity, and my identity, that identity is released, and I'm coming into this Christ consciousness that feels really, really right and really good. And it's my roots because it's how I grew up as a Christian and coming back to my roots in my own way. And especially bringing in the aspect of the feminine and the feminine wisdom through Christ.
Yeah, that is the beautiful thing that I feel like I'm watching you marry really, really well is I feel like I shared with you yesterday because you asked me a lot of questions around this. And a
Yeah.
struggle that I've been feeling the last several years is I grew up in, you go to church every single Sunday. Well, actually, the church I grew up in, you went to church every Sunday morning and every Sunday night and every Wednesday night. And then
Mm,
obviously I went to a Christian
mm,
school. And you belong to a youth group, and then you belong to a women's Bible study and a small group. And you have all of these very ritualistic things like rites of passage, like you're this age and now join this group and this is what you do. And you're this age and now you must
sure.
serve. And I feel like the last I feel like especially since moving to Arizona, which tends to be a little bit more woo woo than the rest of America.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we're, ooh, Arizona, welcome. We got Sedona, we got it all. I feel like it's been this weird journey of figuring out where to find this middle ground of like, well, I don't subscribe to like this not Christianity. Like, I am a Christian, but I also believe that the level of stick figureness we have defined him as. And so I feel like it's hard to find your people. Well, there's a part of me that just wants to walk in the front door of our church and be like, okay, I want to join a women's Bible study. Then I also want to be like, you guys, come on, man, we got to go deeper than this. Like, there's like this like reckoning on women right now, and there's this rumbling underneath the earth that I was sharing with you that I'm finding consistency in guests that I'm having where they're like really fierce women, fiercely feminine women
Yeah.
who don't want to hide about their faith anymore. They're like, I'm a boss, I'm a CEO, I run multiple companies, and like I love God, I believe in Jesus, but it's also this like weird middle ground to find. And I feel like how you're marrying that is so beautiful. Like I feel like you are honoring both and bringing
Yeah.
them together somehow.
Well, I think it's the masculine. I mean, Jesus runs as masculine and feminine energy, right? I
Mm,
feel
yeah.
truly, if anybody, it was definitely Christ that
Mm-hmm.
like exuded that energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also for me, it's bringing in nature, you know,
Mm,
like having, Mother Earth and the feminine, the ground.
yeah.
I look at like nature as the ground and holding the feminine, and then the sky, the vastness of the sky. Actually, I have a song, an affirmation called I am vast, I am open, I am free.
Mm-hmm.
And within that, it's this, I think of heaven and I love the idea of heaven. Like I love the idea of everlasting life. I just do. And I believe in it.
Mm,
And I, through that song and music and using that affirmation and using nature and my recent move to Oregon has been profound in nature surrounding me. And it's a miracle that I'm here, literal miracle. And the only way that could have come was through Christ, 100%. Hands down, full faith, fully and completely. That's how it happened.
yeah.
And
Physically, you're there, but your stuff is not there. And I think
my
that's the
stuff's not
coolest
here
part.
yet, but you know what? There's a reason for that.
I know. I love that part of you.
There,
You're like,
I'm being stripped of a lot of things, and that's
mm-hmm.
okay
Yeah.
because I am doing okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing better than I've ever in my entire life and feel amazing and want to give this energy and this fullness to other women to experience what I'm experiencing through nature, through the consciousness of God. And uh, nature and my music is a huge part of that, and activating the voice of what it is that do you want to say, because it's clearing all of that stuff that we're hiding. Like what you're saying is we're literally hiding behind. Why are we hiding? I'm done hiding.
Yeah.
Right? Are
And
you
I
done
think that
hiding?
women are done hiding. They're
We're
done.
done.
They're
So,
done
and I
hiding and not saying what they want to say.
exactly. So here we are in this, beautiful space that you're providing women. Thank you so much, Chelsea, to be able to speak our truth and to be able to support and really honor other women, like truly and authentically be a sisterhood of faith. And the more faith that we have together, we could literally pick up a mountain and move it. And I believe that in all my heart and soul. that we can do that. But we doing it alone is really hard. I don't want to do it alone. Like I'm no, I've been there, done that. I want to like bring all these other women around and just be part of something so much more beautiful that's poetic. And
I think
yeah,
that is, growing up around direct sales. And so I grew up with a mom who was, for a living, gathering women around the kitchen table and watching them
yeah,
come together. And I will tell you that the last 10 years, that was a challenging way to do that career. I watched that because women have been so easily validating in their own brain into each other, like, oh, I get it, you're so busy, you can't come. I get it, you're so busy, you can't come. I have a coaching client right now that she is doing a series on building a village and being a villager. And she's like, but it's
love
so
that.
simple. And I'm like, but Savannah, it's not simple. We have like we have lost the art of knowing how to sew our own pants. We have lost the art of knowing how to organically connect with each other and build a village. And I think that's why we feel empty.
Yeah. We need to like visceral be together, like where we
Yeah.
can actually, when women come together and there's touch, and that's a big part of
Yeah.
my retreats is I work with very light, very simple touch, but so loving, like it's visceral, like this loving, beautiful touch, and then you bring in the drum and music, and then I'm very versed in you talk about your mom. My mom would have tea with women,
Yes.
and that I love tea. Like it's one of my favorite things to do. So bringing in tea, and I love the energy of cacao, which is pure chocolate,
Mm-hmm.
which could be a whole nother podcast. But sitting in ceremony with other women like they did in ancient times
Do you remember
is,
what you asked me yesterday?
remind me,
You said, where were the women? Like, where was
where were
Mary?
the
Where was
women?
Mary Magdalene? Like, where were the
That's what
women?
they were doing.
They were
They
together.
were. Yes. Yeah. And we need that in Christ consciousness, keeping Christ at the forefront of all of this for me in my own belief. And then having the women surrounding this energy and rising together in this consciousness is vital. And I see people like you and I traveling and retreating and bringing in our gifts because we all have them. Like your gifts are different than my gifts, my gifts are different than my good friend's gifts. And we like you said, so my daughter sews. She's in the fashion design program, so she's
Yes.
bringing that art
Yeah.
back. I have no clue how to sew, but bringing in these ancient remedies and for me working with herbs and things like that and bringing that to the forefront of life and what they did, what the women did that may not be told, right? That we need to tell those stories.
Yes. Yeah. Bringing the women back together. Hey y'all, I'm talking to female founders about what I cannot stop seeing. After 15 years of coaching other women just like you, I've found so many of you are hitting your goals, and when you get to the finish line, you're screaming, what was the point? Because you sacrificed everything and everyone you love to get there. As an alignment coach, I come alongside you as your processing partner and strategist with accountability to help you focus on the goals in your life holistically so you aren't sacrificing what matters the most. Because if you hit your business goals and you're everything to everyone except the most important people in your life, truly, what was the point? Jump on my Make Better Decisions Faster workshop to get started on your most peaceful and profitable year yet. So a lot of those things are things that if someone brings you into retreats, you do a lot of those different things. Like I know that the retreat Amy was on, there was someone maybe that I think that did yoga and then you came in right with the singing part,
Yeah,
right?
I did a lot of I did some touch for sure.
And you can do, but you also do yoga.
I do yoga. Yeah, I haven't taught in quite some time, but I throw me in there and I could teach a yoga class any day of the week, for
Yeah.
sure. I do what's called more feminine embodiment somatic work. It's very feminine based
Mm,
yoga. It's more circular, more breath work, more really deep, deep guided visualization, meditation, using cacao, using blue lotus tea, using very gentle, loving, loving touch. And when women come together, we release the hormone oxytocin. And
mhm.
when that hormone release, it's like that good feeling hormone. We're all vibing, we're really just supporting one another. And everybody could be at, different parts of their spirituality, or they could believe in other things. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be one certain way. Um, but we're all bringing our medicine to something so profound,
Yeah.
to sitting in circle with women. I always sit in a circle because circle is unity and circle means oneness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So something that you said, you said it yesterday, and then you said it a couple times today.
Okay.
You talked about it was your dark night of the soul. I know that you lived in Savannah for a while, and I think it was when you lived in Savannah you really went through a dark night of the soul. What I know people are going, but what does that mean? What does she mean by dark night of the soul? And am I going through a dark night of the soul? And so
Yeah.
what did that look like? What does that mean? How does somebody know if
Yeah.
they're in that season? What is like if you could give them a piece of advice, like guiding themselves and surrendering through
Yeah.
that season?
I think, leaving my hometown, I raised my kids for 25 years in Frankfort, Illinois.
Yeah.
And I loved my home. I loved being in Frankfurt. We lived in downtown Frankfurt. It was just a wonderful time of my life. And we wanted to go and support our daughter while she was in college, just for a couple of years. And I had a very difficult time adjusting to, you know, um, the grief of leaving. I know it may sound interesting, but leaving something that was so sacred in my heart. Did all my work out of my home. I had teen circles. I had, you name it, I did it. It was very difficult for me the weather was very hard on my body. I had a lot of
Yeah.
chronic pain that I dealt with daily because of the humidity. And
I knew
that
you were
may
going to
not
say humidity.
affect anybody else, but it really did for me. And some other things that were really intense that happened that will be another podcast, for sure. But that dark night of the soul of, I we lost a lot. But I'll put it to you that way. We lost a lot. Um, and it wasn't just our home. It was money. There's so many things that we lost. But and through that losing, I didn't believe in anything for a minute. I was like, what is going on with my life? And it took me time to come back to Christ kept calling me, but I would refuse it. I was like, no, 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 that's not me.
Yeah.
And it was knocking on my door again. And it was the next thing that was happening. And then the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. And I was like, what is happening? So finally, that through that process is where I put this 10-day program together, Fearless Feminine Freedom, Releasing Resistance. It's not AI generated, nothing like that. This came from the depths, like
This is
of
like
my
from the depths of the dark
from
night
the
of the
depths of
soul
my dark night,
journey.
of the soul and my journey. And I really was like, okay, I spent a lot of time in nature. I'm so grateful to Savannah because Savannah is brought me to literally the greatest time of my life, truly. And it stripped me of all the things that I was attached to and chasing. Stop chasing. It never works. Chasing, chasing, chasing. And on that, running from whatever I was running from and stopped me in my tracks because so many things happened along that journey to myself and my family. And finally I surrendered. And that's where the program came in. And it surprised me that the deepest surrender was a surrender to Christ, honestly. That's the story.
I think there's so much in that. I think that big seasons of loss tend to be the where people turn away
Yes.
more than any other season, and could turn into victim, and instead it really was the thing that brought you to your knees and that made you create one of your most beautiful things yet.
Yeah. And the album too, that was prior, but it was interesting because that album got me through
Mm-hmm.
so much. I mean, one of the songs is Trust, Peace, Surrender, Freedom, and you just
Mm,
sit and you listen to it over and over again. It's very simple. It's got the violin and some guitar, and it's very soft and melodic. And then I wrote another song, I am vast, I am open, I am free, and just we are free. Freedom is the gift that we've been given, like when we're not attached to the mind.
mhm,
This is very
mhm.
potent, and using this album kind of releases, not kind of, it does release those thought patterns because it gives you something else to focus on. And it's not, for me, it's not, oh, this is my affirmation and this is going to come true. Like, that's not how it works.
Mhm.
I don't believe that at all. I don't
Okay.
believe it at all. I don't believe that's how manifestation works. I believe it is the frequency and the love and the energy that's going into and the prayer and God that you're hearing through my voice. You are everything that you're hoping and praying for. Open your angel wings and let them soar. That's another one that I wrote. Opening to more love. I love you. I will always love you. Love is the answer. So there's these very simple. There's seven affirmations that come with the program that you use with it, and you just repeat them. And then there's a high frequency meditation, and for the morning and the evening. And yeah, I mean, you're using my voice to,
Yeah.
and I think Chelsea, with you maybe yesterday, when you talked earlier about going through the meditation, that was maybe 5 or 7 minutes, because of that exchange of me coming from this place of God, you felt it. It wasn't me just going, now sit down and take a breath and close
No.
your eyes and drop your shoulders. It was, Chelsea, like, really come into this time in this place in this moment, come into a deep state of rest. Let's breathe together, let's let go together, let me support you on your journey.
Mhm. Mhm. Again, the women coming together.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the only way.
Agree. Do you, okay, so a question I have is I had like we'll call it a work boss that didn't believe, she always said you can go from glory to glory to glory. Like she did not believe that you ever had to endure hardships, hard things, valleys. I we would go rounds about it for years because I just
Okay.
was like, I just don't think that's I don't think that's real. Like
Yeah.
you can't even get a diamond without a little bit of pressure. So for you, do you believe that these dark nights and valleys are necessary? Like, do you believe that they're intentional?
Yeah, I believe that, living an authentic life, there's pain and suffering.
Right? Like, you can't have light without dark. You can't have
It,
ease without first knowing struggle.
and that's why I talked about the affirmational album. It's not about overlaying
Mm-hmm.
these,
Mm-hmm.
intentions of like nothing's ever going to happen to me. It's quite the opposite. It's
Mm.
the program is, my greatest gifts are the emotions and emotional intelligence. It's allowing all the emotions to come up,
Yeah.
come up from the root,
Yeah.
bring them up, breathe into them, and let, because that's the depth.
Yeah.
The
Agree.
depth is the the pain that we have, and then we're able to release it. And I don't know everything. That's not what I'm saying here, because I'm not a therapist. I'm none of those things, but I know enough. in my own wisdom and my own journey that what I've been through in my life and everybody, I mean, my God, that
Yeah.
I can help people come to that place. And then there's room for therapy and, everything that everybody needs on their
Yeah.
own, for
Yeah.
sure. But no, pain and suffering is, and I would never judge that woman because maybe that's her journey and
Yeah.
God, good for her. Gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
But authentically for me, it's what's made me who I am.
Yeah.
All these wrinkles and, all the pain and suffering that I'm going through in my life is definitely
Yeah.
brought me the depth of who I am as a
Yeah.
person and brought me the grit,
Yeah. Yeah.
to get through it.
Yeah. I agree. My personal life experience is, I think that it's probably what makes me the best coach is because I did it all wrong before I did it all right.
100,
And
100%.
right. And there's so much ego death in that. Like, oh, like it's okay. Let me tell you about the 27,000 times that I fell on my face. It's
Oh my
fine.
God.
You figure it
Fall
out.
down, fall down seven, get up eight. Like
Yeah.
there's that old quote,
Yeah.
I just feel like,
Yeah.
I pray to be humble. I pray to be good. I pray to be love that's all around me.
Yeah.
I don't sit, I give it all back to God.
Yeah. I
The
love that.
compliments, all of it. I don't, none of that. I just
Yeah.
thank you. I love compliments, but
Yeah.
it's all going back to source because I'm not doing any of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Just saying yes, right? Yes to
that's
being
it.
a vessel to help. But the reason I love that is because, we do live in such a highlight real world. And then it almost became this like badge of honor of like, oh, look at my behind the scenes. And then I'm like, but now this is like a fake behind the scenes. And a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago, the episode that came out, episode I think it was 118, with the social media girls, they talked about how they built really hard and fast their first 3 years. And then year four, they burned it all down to the ground to rebuild it with like really deep purpose. And
I love that.
like we need more of that. Like we need more actual, real, true, like, when you said providing a space for women to be able to speak their truth. I'm like, that I you will get this. For me, when I knew that I was supposed to start this podcast, it was like this weirdest, wake up in the middle of the night type of thing where I just felt like God said to me, like, I need you to create this space that will help heal the collective. Like the stories
Mm.
of these women
Yeah.
will heal the collective. And 120 episodes later, there's never been a single man but my husband when we talk about marriage on the podcast, just because, and I get pitched by men all day, every day in my inbox, but I just feel like women need this space to
I
come.
love that. I love
Yeah.
that so much. And what a calling and what beauty that you're bringing to women. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful to be on it. You're my first podcast I'm on.
No way.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. People get
It's
nervous.
never really, I had
No.
my own podcast and, it
Yes.
kind of fizzled out or, who knows, it may come back, but I really enjoy being part of this. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
it is my first. I've been asked many times and just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Here it is. This is where I think I'm showing up most authentically.
Yeah. Yeah. Timing. Okay, so a question I had come up while we were talking
Yeah.
is, what is one thing that you wish more women knew?
Mm. That what we're really looking for is inner peace.
Hmm.
I mean, really, it's not a cliche.
Yeah.
It's really deep.
No.
It's deep,
Oh.
deep, deep. It's like
Yeah.
truly what you are looking for, all the things you think you need,
Mm.
or will never give you what God can give you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just like that inner peace and contentment.
Inner peace.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that's part of, where my gifts are as well, is just how can I take you and want to take you
Yeah.
to the greatest rest
Yeah.
in your nervous system and relaxation and peace, because that's when everything starts to be
Yeah.
created.
We talked about that at the very end of my session yesterday. I don't know, we were talking about something, and I said, but I don't ever worry because I know at the end of the day, it's always good. God is always good. He is good. It is good. Like, I don't have a worry ever that I'm gonna, I don't, I don't
I
worry.
love that.
I just,
I love that.
I don't know. I just
That's
always
amazing.
know I'll be taken care of. Like, I know that so
I love that.
firmly. But
That
I
took me a
adore,
long time to get to that place.
yeah,
Like
I adore to get there.
it took me years to get to the place of, because we all have go-to moment. I mean, emotions, and mine was always fear.
Mm, mm,
So I love that you're able to get to that place so easily. For me, I'm there now,
yeah,
finally.
yeah. It's I don't know if I kind of thought it was like 2017, 2018. I went to do this program that helped me get there, but it was actually December 2021. We had our former friend's teenager living with us, and it just best friend parents. It was terrible. It was a lot of trauma. The dad
Yeah,
was extrememely abusive narcissist. You don't really know people until you know people, right? You
yeah,
don't know them until you know them.
yeah,
And he honestly like damaged and broke me in ways I didn't know that I could be because it was so like tiny little subtle things every single day. And I remember sitting in our bedroom knowing like I can't do this one more day. Like I got to get out of this, and asking my husband permission, like I'm gonna light this friendship of yours on fire that you've had your whole life. Like I can't do this one more day. And like asking your
yeah.
permission because like please give me permission. I'm not gonna live. And I just remember like really crying out,
Hmm.
like crying out to God, like I genuinely don't know what to do to get out of this. And so quickly, I had a friend Ellen call immediately. She needed something, and then she's like, "Are you okay?" And I just broke down. And she was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! You are always good. Like you are
Mm,
always good, and God is always good. And there's a lot of people that love you, and you are never alone.
yeah.
He is always there, and we are always there. What do we got to do?" And just so quickly, everything. I mean, it was like the snap of God's fingers, and like boom,
I
boom, boom, boom,
love
boom, boom.
that.
Everything fell into place greater than I could even imagine. Like
That's how he works.
overlanded on our feet. And I think it was that, like, that bring me to my absolute actual knees process that made me go, oh man, like nothing could be worse or more damaging than that situation. And we landed so beyond on our feet. Like, God, you are always so good. Like, I will never worry
Yes.
ever again
Yes.
because I couldn't have imagined how great it would turn out.
I'm in Bend, Oregon now,
It's so, oh my goodness, I cannot wait.
surrounded by mountains and
We're,
water and
we're doing this retreat there, but we have to wait a whole year. It's
yeah.
going to be in fall
Yeah.
2027. And I was showing my husband photos, and he said, I hate you. And I said, I know, we probably should just go visit Bend and visit Gina before because I should probably
Yes.
test it out.
Yes. I would love that.
And he was like, yes. He goes, you're going to go to the coolest places for these retreats and with the coolest people. I'm like, I know. I
Oh my
do.
God, I love that
It's
so
a good
much.
life. It's a good life. So, okay. Well,
And
wrap.
the fact that you guys are coming here
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah. She was in Savannah, and then she's like, hey, have you ever heard of Bend, Oregon? And I was like, actually, yeah. It's in I have an Instagram folder of like
Yeah.
things that
Oh,
pop up like, oh, I want to go there because there was something crazy, gorgeous, and beautiful. And I love going to new places.
yeah.
I just love the Pacific Northwest in general. Always feel very called there. And I was like, yeah, it's like on my list. Why? She's like, okay, let me tell you the story. I met this lady. Her name is Gina. She lived in Savannah, but she's moving there like right now.
Oh my gosh,
We
I
should do our
love that.
retreat next year there. And I was like, you don't have to tell me twice because I'm like, Amy, I'm already searching Airbnb right now.
I love that. I would
So,
say one more thing. One more
yay.
thing. My oldest lives in Washington State. He's right outside of Vancouver. The love of my life. His name is Benjamin, and he really has been convincing me to come here for many, many years. And just want to plug my beautiful family. My legacy is, being a mother to my beautiful children. My oldest Benjamin, he's going to be 30, and my middle guy, Henry, love of my life. He's
Oh,
22, and my daughter, Fiona, who's 19. Um, Being a mom has been my greatest purpose, and I love them all so deeply. And of course, my husband, Mark, who's always encouraging me. So,
yeah. I
yeah.
love that. But I think it's beautiful that you have allowed yourself to be a mom and be a wife, be really intentional, be really dedicated. You quite
Yes,
literally followed your kids around the country, helped
I
to
did.
be with them at different seasons of their life,
Yeah.
quite literally. And
Yes.
then also along the way, allow you like gave yourself that permission to go
Yeah.
on your own journey of
Yes.
discovery and figuring out your next best. And
Yes.
ah,
Oh, thank you,
that's
Chelsea.
the most beautiful. Okay, so we always wrap this up with permission. So if
Yeah.
you could give the women of the world any permission, what would that permission be?
See what comes through right now.
Mm,
My song comes through. You are everything that you're hoping and praying for. Open your angel wings and let them soar. I think just permission to really know who you are and to live that
yeah. Mm,
life of whatever it is you want to live.
yeah.
You know, you
Permission.
are everything you're hoping and praying for. Open your angel wings and let them soar.
Permission to know who you are and live that life.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm,
Permission to know who you are
yeah.
and to really explore that
Mm,
because it's fun, you know? Like, who am I? Like, I'm really still trying to do that. Like, there's so much more to me that in the mystery of life that I haven't even uncovered. And I think that that's really, giving each other permission and teaching each other as women what our gifts are so then we can potentially maybe um, understand what more of our gifts are as well.
hmm. I feel like I need to give my career identity like the level of fluidity that I give my location. I love moving.
Love it.
It's so fun to me. I love just like, let's just pack up and move somewhere else. We moved 10 years in a
Yay.
row. It was so awesome. We've been here for
Come to bed.
2 years. I mean, I keep telling my husband, I'm like, will you hurry up and finish your teaching degree? And he's like, the moment I finish, you're going to make me move somewhere. Probably. I mean, yeah. Yeah. But I think that because that's always been so fluid, like where I lived, I was so anchored in like, this is my identity as my career. You know, and when you say that, permission to know who you are and to be able to live that and like to explore it,
Mhm.
you
Absolutely.
know, the industrial, you're a doctor, lawyer, teacher, nurse, we don't have to do that anymore, right?
Exactly.
Permission to explore
Yes.
that. Like, what does that mean?
Yes.
I would say Instagram didn't even exist. You couldn't, the job as an Instagram influencer did not exist a decade ago. And now
Right.
people make gajillions.
I know.
We
It's
just need to
crazy.
get fixed. So thank you for coming today. You're
Thank you for
wonderful.
having me. I'm so
Oh,
grateful.
of course.
My first podcast.
Oh, until we meet again. Absolutely.
Yes.
All right.
Lots of good conversations.
Yes, and to come, and to come. All right, All Things Excellence fam. Thanks for joining us today. Everything that you need to get more Gina is in the show notes below. Please drop down there, listen to her songs, download the albums, check her out, get the 10-day transformational journey, trust me, get the one-on-one, definitely book a one-on-one. You're going to have a really great experience with that. And thank you everyone for listening, and we will talk to all of y'all next time. Thanks for listening to All Things Excellence. If something landed with you today, I'd love for you to follow the show, share it with a friend, or leave a quick review. It helps more women find these transformational conversations. And if you're ready for support with your next step, or needing someone to stand in the gap with you to figure out what that even is, I'd love to create that space for you, and my intro clarity call is a great place to start. Because life is too quick and too full to have to figure it out alone. Until next time, All Things Excellence fam, thank you for listening.